It was disturbing for me because whenever you see a situation like this, it makes you think of Trayvon Martin, for instance, who had his life taken because of overzealous like neighborhood watch person who felt like he didn't belong there. Like, what are you doing here? Type of thing. It also reminded me of Emmett Till, who we know what happened with him, unfortunately, and how it began because this woman said that he whistled at her. So it was very reminiscent of a lynch mob.
Turn to the side, let me see. Damn, I think we all could agree. You and your friends, I'll count it 2 and 3. And you looking even better here with me. We don't need no dinner, you the no boo. Tell me where you're from, girl, is your local? Got a couple dollars we could blow through. Take a couple trips, yeah, I can show you. Jump in my Impala, get the backseat going. We just let the top down, getting top down, hold it.
That song you just heard is my new joint. It's called Blow a Bag. You could stream it on all streaming platforms. Just search Hollywood Blow a Bag, add it to your playlist, send it to your friends if you like what you heard. Appreciate you for streaming it. Let's get ready to get into what's hot in these blogs. First things first, it is election season. We are just 15 days away from the election, and everyone is doing all they can to make sure this election goes the right way. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you what that right way is. But we got Kamala Harris and the other guy, 45, aka Trump. They're both making their rounds. What I want to talk about specifically today is some comments Trump made on one of his latest interviews. He was on Fox and Friends, and they were asking him about his plans as president and some of the things he's planning to do, and some of the things that is, without him saying it, a part of Project 2025, like getting rid of the Department of Education. And Trump flat out said, without even trying to sugarcoat it, he plans to get rid of the Department of Education. And what makes it even worse is the host asked him, he says something like, so my issue with this is, let's just say you have a state, because Trump wants to leave the school curriculum, everything up to the individual states. So the host asks, what if you have a liberal state who wants to teach about slavery, the truth about America and our history, Black history, and how America was built off the backs of slaves, slavery, etc. And Trump's response to that was, we won't fund them. We won't send them any money. So he wants to do away with the Department of Education, and basically any state that wants to teach about slavery will not get funding. You know how crazy that is, how dangerous that is? They're already banning books right now in certain states. It's like y'all are literally trying to erase Black history. And why is the most important question. Is it because you want to take us back to that? It's crazy to me that he's not even hiding it anymore. Like, he's flat out telling you on national television, this is what I want to do. You gotta really open your eyes to the grand scheme of what comes with a new Trump presidency. Your man's is literally trying to take us back to the Jim Crow era. Unapologetically, like they're literally telling it to us. They put out a 900-page book detailing it, not even hiding it. Mind blowing. Someone said, from the Germany of the 1930s and 40s playbook, especially with promoting states' rights with this AB issue. Someone said, Trump and his minions are literally trying to create a new generation of racists. Yeah. It's so much more that he's looking to do. Like, aside from getting rid of the Department of Education, he plans to basically weaponize the Department of Justice against anybody who is against anything he is about. He's telling us everything flat out. The only thing he's not doing is spelling out dictatorship. I don't know if that's what he has to do, is like spell it out for y'all, but it's crazy. I don't know, man. But I do know there are many swing states who are super important, and you got to make sure you are registered to vote. Some of the swing states, the deadline to register has already passed, but in a few of them, it's still ahead of us, like Nevada. They are surprisingly, their deadline to register is on election day. You have until election day to register in Nevada. Michigan, you have until the 21st. PA as well, you have until the 21st. So make sure you're registered and vote early. A lot of states allow you to vote early in person. Do not do the mail-in ballot situation unless you absolutely have to. But I recommend voting in person at the polls. There's already a chance we won't know who the president is on election night, which I'm bummed about. So if we could maybe reduce that and having where the numbers are just so obvious that it can't be contested, that's why I'm recommending for you to vote in person at the machines if you can. Many states are allowing it already. I'm definitely planning to do it myself. Other states, not swing states, but I want you to know, New York, my home state, the deadline to register is October 26th. So make sure you are registered and make sure you get out and vote. Vote.org should be your resource where you can go to find out all things election, your state's deadline to register, where you can actually register, and you can find out where your polling locations are, if your state allows early voting, when that begins, everything you need to know, vote.org. I'm proud to say I got some of my family members to register in one of the swing states. So doing my part, as I said a few weeks ago, we could start with the people that's like right around us. You don't have to, go knock on a stranger's door. You can hit up the people right in your immediate reach, childhood friends you grew up with, who you may not talk to every day, but it's still all love when y'all link up. Hit them up, even in the DM, hit them up on Messenger or whatever. Just ask them like, yo, you in this state or whatever, are you registered to vote? I usually start with anybody I've been talking to the past couple of weeks is like, yo, you into politics? And if they be like, sometimes, no, I'll be like, do you vote? Like those are my first two questions. And whether they say, yes, I vote, and then I'll go further to see like, okay, so what's up? Pick their brain, see what they thinking. If they say no, they don't vote, I explain to them how this election is different than any other election, and I need you to cast that vote. I need you to. And I explain to them why. So that's how I do it. And that's another reason why I'm encouraging early voting, because the lines that you may experience on election day by waiting until November 5th could potentially be crazy. I think this may be one of the most like polarizing like elections. And I think we may have record turnout across the country. Georgia already alone seen double turnout for first day early voting than the last election. Over 250 to 300,000 people turned out, because this election is like in our faces more. A lot of people realizing what's at stake. And I think we're going to have record turnout across the board. So yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, fast shouts to Jimmy Carter too, 39th president, Jimmy Carter. He spoke back in August and said that he wanted to basically live long enough to be able to vote for Kamala Harris. And he did just that a few days ago. 100 years old. He's the longest lived president in United States history, the first to live to see 100. And he just cast his vote for Kamala. So fast shouts to you, sir. Gonna move on to what else is hot in these blogs, but still speaking about 45, unfortunately. Trump has this Bible that he's been selling for the past few months. Some may wonder, like, what? and why. Trump's Bible includes the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The reason why it's making some noise right now on the blogs is because he intentionally left out amendments of the Constitution. There are 27 amendments. It bypasses amendments 11 through 27. Amendments that were added for a reason. We all know when the Constitution was first written, we weren't really considered. So then we had these amendments added. So for him to intentionally leave out the amendments, it's very telling. Trump has this idea of America. When you think about his slogan, even, make America great again, one will wonder, when was America ever really great? And I guess it depends who you ask. And if you ask racist white men, they would probably say America was great back when white supremacy ruled the land. So now you create this Bible, which is basically the King James version, and you just edited it. You include the Constitution, but you intentionally leave out the amendments. In your eyes, you probably feel these amendments should have never been added in the first place. So let's go through these amendments and see why it's important to point out what they are and how it should be alarming that he feels in his version, these shouldn't be there. So Amendment 11, lawsuits against other states. Amendment 12, it refers to presidential elections, including the vice president being the one to certify the election. 13, which is the abolishment of slavery. 14, regarding civil rights. 15, which speaks about Black suffrage, which says you can't have your right to vote taken away because of the color of your skin. Not included in Trump's Bible. Another one that's stood out to me is Amendment 22, which speaks about term limits for the president. A friend of mine, me and a friend of mine were joking about Trump and the way he's moving and how he's trying to dictate everything moving forward if he were to be elected, how he might just try to not leave office or try to dictate who's next and the whole process of even electing a president. And when you look at Amendment 22 and its talk on term limits, it made me think like, you never know. Not everyone's religious, like I said. Not everyone follows the Bible. Some may even wonder, why is the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, even included in the Bible? The Constitution was inspired by the Bible. Also, I feel like Trump is laying the groundwork to have the ideals of white supremacy be the rule of law. Between this Bible, between Project 2025, and a lot of his supporters hold, I guess, traditional Christian values. And if they are going to be following this man and looking to his Bible for it to have like these missing components, it's alarming. Oklahoma was looking to have these Bibles in their school system. They initially wanted a Bible that included the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Trump's Bible checked all of the boxes, so many felt his Bible would be the one that would be chosen. Oklahoma just recently, the other day, amended their requests for these Bibles and said that it doesn't have to include the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, but they'll have them separately. But they're just one state of many who will likely want to have this Bible in their schools, especially if they're a super Christian school. Thing about it is not everyone's Christian, right? But under Project 2025, it wouldn't matter what you believe in because they will want everyone to follow this strict guideline in the most extreme way. It's a reason so many, what I call true conservatives, the true Republican Party, not the MAGA clan, but there's a reason why so many of the true conservatives are now going to be voting for Kamala in this election and have expressed that publicly. There's a reason for that. Like, don't take that lightly. That doesn't just happen for prominent figures of a political party to publicly voice their support for the other side, so to say. You got to pay attention. But yeah, that's that on that. Last but not least, what I want to talk about, there's a teen from Florida, Sarasota County, I believe it was, where there's this video that has gone viral. He was recording himself because he was being followed by a group of white men. Teen was Black, and it was about 5 or 6, I believe, white men that was following him. And initially in the video, he's like recording himself and he's like, yo, you see this? Like, they're harassing me. And you could hear the men in the background asking him, do he live there? What is he doing there? Never seen you around here before. You walked past my house 5 or 6 times, etc. All of the invasive questions that they feel he owes them an answer for. And it came out a little later. The reason why they were harassing him is because the wife of one of the men says that the teen tried to hit on her. It was disturbing for me because whenever you see a situation like this, it makes you think of Trayvon Martin, for instance, who had his life taken because of overzealous, like, neighborhood watch person who felt like he didn't belong there. Like, what are you doing here? Type of thing. It also reminded me of Emmett Till, who we know what happened with him, unfortunately, and how it began because this woman said that he whistled at her. So it was very reminiscent of a lynch mob, how they were following him. And one of them even at one point goes into his car and pulls out a weapon of some sort. We don't see the weapon specifically. Many people were just assuming that it may have been a firearm. His wife and some other men from the neighborhood are saying that it wasn't a firearm. He don't even own a gun. Someone's saying it was a stick or whatever it was. It was uncalled for him to even make the gesture to assault this teen just for walking. Literally, that's all he's doing in this video. Even if he did try to holler at old girl or whatever, she refused his advances. He's done walking along now at this point. So for y'all to be following him, I think his mom said for like 10 minutes or something, y'all following this boy around is wild. Even though, sidebar, the dude who went into his car to get the weapon, I feel like he was faking the funk anyway, because your man's gets out the car, walks around the back of it just to open the passenger door to reach in to get whatever, to be held back by the other neighbor. And it's like, yeah, punk, really? What? I don't think you was about to do nothing, really. I think you just was trying to scare him. Because why you even get out the car to walk around? Like, you could have literally came out the car with whatever you had in there. Like, you get out like chest pumped out, like, I got something for you, and go around like all that, like looking like a clown. And now you lost your job because you are the one who was terminated behind this. Good for you for that. His name is Stephen Carrega. Originally, he was suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. He worked for the London Stock Exchange Group, but he has now since been terminated because the internet don't play about this type of stuff right now. And you will be identified, and the people will call your job up. They will call you whatever. So good riddance, enjoy home life, or find another job. Because what y'all did to this young man was uncalled for. Like, y'all see this young Black man in this suburban community, and there's no way you live here. There's no way you belong here. So we're going to follow you and we're going to question you. And how dare you not answer our questions? That's what it was given. Meanwhile, the teen said that he was walking around because he was on the phone with his girlfriend or something like that. This was around Hurricane Milton. So some of the community lost power. Some of the areas lost power and had poor cell reception. So that's what him and his mom was saying, what he was doing, why he was walking around outside, which he can. And trying to holler at somebody isn't a crime at the end of the day. He didn't attack her. He didn't do anything that warranted y'all to follow him around. Hopefully people learn something from cases like this, from situations like this, and do better at the end of the day. Do better. I think that is going to conclude what's hot in the blogs for this week. Thank you for watching. If you rock with your boy, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, it's called Holliewood and Friends, which means I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the topics I just discussed. I appreciate you. New episodes every Monday night. Until next time, deuces.